Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Marina Aleshina, and today I have a privilege to be on WADF YouTube channel speaking about artistic solo ballroom, and I chose a topic for myself for today, building a choreography and fundamental principles. Today I have three beautiful assistants, three of my students here, Irina, Maria and Sofia. What we're going to do today, we're going to speak about how to create artistic solo choreography on the example of slow waltz, and also we'll pay attention to some details, some technical aspects, and we'll do some exercises. Before we start, I'd like to do a small introduction. Personally, I came to the world of artistic dance from competitive professional ballroom. And I always worked with solo dancers though. But as you know, in a competitive ballroom, solo dancers need to dance ballroom in normal ballroom hold, and they have restrictions about figures, about the choreography that they can dance. So when I started to teach 4 years ago artistic ballroom, I had to think how to create choreography correctly, how to do it better. So I kind of worked on my personal style as a choreographer and as a teacher. And after 4 years now, having champions, world champions, European champions in each age category, juvenile 1, starting from juvenile 1 to youth and adults, I can probably say that what I'm doing is kind of correct way. So before we start, I'd like to thank once again WADF for the privilege that you gave me to be here, to speak with you all and to share some knowledge and some experience and some of my thoughts. So let's start some work. Okay, so now we will talk a little bit about creating choreography. And for me, personally, I always do it like this. Every girl has kind of artistic presentational part of her dance when we use different arms, different styling, different shapes, different actions, not necessarily ballroom figures. But then kind of every girl has so-called ballroom part of her choreography. And I built this on normal dance routine from competitive ballroom using the figures from competitive ballroom with all the techniques that is necessary to use there. So, for example, we start with Maria. You already saw these parts in our introductional dance, but now we'll talk a little bit about technical principles in each part of the ballroom choreography. So Maria here, she will dance an open natural turn, running steps, then she will dance natural turn, spin turn, pivots, and ending with running finish. Let's see it with the count. Ready? And 1, 2, 3, 1 and 2 and 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. 2, 3, 1 and 2, 3, 1 and 2, 3. Thank you. So as you could see, Maria has kind of basic choreography, but still she has different rhythms, which is very important. So we combine the basic rhythm of 1, 2, 3 with something more developed when we have 1 and 2, 3, for example, when we create more dynamics in the choreography, and that needs to be used. So if we use the basic timing 1, 2, 3 all the time, it's kind of too simple for the open level. So we try to do something more developed using still the normal competitive ballroom figures. So now let's see Irina's piece of ballroom choreography. So she will dance here an open natural turn, rolling chasse, running spin turn, side cross and bounce follow away. So here, in comparison to Maria's choreography, for example, as you just saw, here we have not only natural turning figures, but we combine it with the reverse figures, which is also a correct building of choreography. We need to use turning right and turning left in a good proportion, so the choreography will be again more developed and more good looking. So let's take a look at the choreography, please, with the count. And 1, 2, 3, 1, 2 and 3, 1 and 2, 3, 1 and 2, 3, 1 and 2, 3. Normally, when I do choreography, I always pay attention to personality of each of my dancers, because not everybody is the same, of course. Some have some strong points and some weak points, but we need to show the strong points of each of our dancers. For example, Sofia here is a very strong and dynamic dancer. So when we were thinking of a new choreography for slow waltz, we decided to do a new part of very dynamical rotations to the right. So what Sophie is going to do now will be a rolling chasse, spin turn, 2 pivots, 2 double natural turn with overspin, and 1 more series of pivots before ending it with some artistic finish. So let's see this choreography to the count. And 1, 2 and 3, 1, 2, 3, 1 and 2, 3, 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Here I would like to make a very important note. As a competitive ballroom dancer myself in my past, I'm very concentrated on technique. I have always been, and I still am, and my students know that for me every single technical detail, like placing of foot, the shaping of the feet, the directions of the step that we're taking, this is all very, very important for me, and I pay a lot of attention to technical details. But what I would like to mention is technique is not for the sake of technique itself. Technique forms what I call quality of movement. And I think as teachers and as judges, we need to pay a lot of attention to quality of movement, the correct characteristics of each single dance, the way a dancer moves along the floor. Because how we use our ankles, joints and feet forms the correct movement. So quality of movement, it affects the characteristics of the dance. It affects the image that the dancer produces with his or her own body, how we shape our body, how we create the posture, how we feel our lines, how we shape our arms. This is all based on certain technical skills and knowledge that every dancer needs to have. So when I'm speaking about technique, it's just not because I'm too overwhelmed with technique, you know, it's just because the technique needs to be there to create a good quality dancing and good quality movement. So now we're going to do one technical exercise. It's called 6 ups and 6 downs. So we will be working on actual rise and fall, one of the main aspects of slow waltz. And we're going to do that in 3 different hand positions. Irina here will demonstrate it with normal classical ballroom hold, which actually is very good for organizing the body in the right way, for creating the right posture. Also, for these reasons, Maria will use this stick. We actually use it quite often in our lessons, just to feel the shape of the arms, just to feel the length of the sides of the body, to keep the position in the body same and never to lose and to drop the sides and the posture position. And Sofia here, she will use the arms as an artistic ballroom. She will use choreographic positions, this position, side position, and up position. So she will be actually moving her arms while doing this exercise. Okay, so we'll do this exercise with the count and with me. I will just put my arms here. So we concentrate on the footwork and on the rise and fall. So we start. And 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. And 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. And to the side, 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, and back, 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. Thank you, girls. So as you see, we are working on the foot positions, how to create a step forward, and how to create the step to the side using this inside edge of the foot, and how to create the step backwards using the ankles and the length of our feet to create a correct and nicely looking step. Thank you. And now we're going to see this exercise to music. Thank you. Now I would like to say a few words about how we work with our arms in artistic solo ballroom. Of course, movement of the arms is again a very personal thing, because again, our lines is something that we feel differently, and our shape of our lines is very, very different. But again, a few key points needs to be there, no matter of the personality. First of all, we use choreographic positions, as I already mentioned before. So, for example, this preparation position, this is the first position, this is the second position, and this is the third position. So if I move my arm, for example, I all the time feel that I'm going through this position, no matter what the action is. Second important thing for me is that girls need to feel that their line is always finished with their fingers. So for example, if I feel the position but I drop my fingers, it's already quite unbeautiful position and not very nicely decorated. So we need to make sure that our fingers finish the line and we keep control of it. And one more important thing is that our arms needs to be in the character of the dance we are performing. So for example, if I'm using my arms in slow waltz, of course this needs to be fluid and smooth and continuous action no matter what I'm doing. Of course in tango, for example, it's completely different style and completely different energy. So I need to make sure that my arms do accents, for example. So they need to be stronger, they need to be quicker, and the line needs to be finished in exact beat of the music. Same goes with the quick step, for example. Again, the energy is different, so the energy in the arms needs to be the same as the energy in the body. So, as I mentioned already before, when I do the choreography, I kind of do it from two parts, artistic part and ballroom part. What we're going to do now is we just want to show you some kind of artistic part, how actually three of my students start their waltz choreography. And you will see that they do it completely differently, using their own personality again. And we create the choreography using their personal things, personal aspects that they like to show more. It will be also, as you will see, from different points, and of course I always think where to put each of them, because many of them compete with each other in the same age category, so I need to think that not necessarily they all need to start from the center of the floor, for example. They need to be in different places, so just to not to coincide with each other and not to disturb each other while dancing. So now we will show you to music their artistic beginning of their slow waltz. So, we are leaving you here on this note, but we hope to see you again soon in our future episodes of WADF Academy, speaking about artistic solo ballroom. Once again, I would like to thank WADF for giving me this opportunity to be here and to speak with you all. Take care and see you soon.